So I've made a lot of games. Some of them have been good, some of them have been bad, but in this video, I'm going to rank all the games I've made. Here's our tier list. So we have the S tier, which is the absolute best games we've made. We've got A tier, B tier, and C tier. This should be interesting. Before we get into the video, I wanted to announce my new website, badgamedev.fun. I've basically created this website as a go-to for all my content, whether it's videos, games, and there's even a link to my Patreon. If you want to check out any of the games from this video, most of them can be accessed through my website. Just go to the games section and click on the itch.io button. Now, you're probably wondering about the domain, badgamedev.fun. It's a pretty cool domain. I've actually teamed up with .fun to launch this website and to bring you guys a special offer. Firstly, let's talk about the importance of a domain. Whether you're a game developer or you want to establish an online presence, the best way to do so is with a great domain. If you're launching a game, for example, it's important to have a website to send people towards that may be interested in following your game, and that's also where the .fun domain comes in. When people see the .fun domain, they know they're in for a gaming treat. It's a fun twist on domains that will make yours stand out. Like I said before, I've just launched my website with .fun domains, and I think it's a great way to have all my content in one place, with a domain that stands out. Now, here's the special offer. You can get a .fun domain for just 99 cents for the first year by using my code BADGAMEDEV. To use this code and purchase your domain, head on over to get.fun or check out my link in the description. Now, it's time to rank our games. Captain Explosion. Captain Explosion is a platform shooter game, which I made as an impossible game. Basically, the player works through the game, taking out enemies and completing puzzles, but the game is actually impossible to beat. I made this game for a video where I tried to make a game that is actually impossible. Honestly, the gameplay in this game, even though it's impossible, is pretty fun. This is going in the A tier. Among Us Battle Royale. Among Us Battle Royale was what happened when I decided to turn Among Us into a Battle Royale game. There's basically three teams, the blue team, the red team, and the imposter team. As a player on the blue or red team, the goal is to take out the other team, plus figure out who the imposter is on your team and take them out too. As the imposter, the goal is to take out all the other teams. B tier. Just Shoot. Just Shoot is a shooting game where you basically have to shoot the enemy. I made this for a video where I made the same game in 24 hours, 10 hours, 1 hour, and 10 minutes, and this was the 24-hour version of that game. B tier. The original version of You Probably Won't Survive. The original version of You Probably Won't Survive is a zombie survival game where you play on an island and have to fight off waves of zombies and other monsters. You can collect wood from trees and use it to build bases. A tier. Gunner Runner. Gunner Runner is an endless runner game that was originally made by a Fiverr developer in a video where I paid Fiverr developers to make the same game. This game was then upgraded and turned into a mobile game. A tier. Clone AI. Clone AI is a horror game in which you play as a programmer who is testing out their new AI software, which allows them to create a clone version of themselves. A tier. The original version of Combat.io. The original version of Combat.io is a fake multiplayer game in which you fight in an endless PvP arena against bots. The whole concept of this game was to create a fake multiplayer.io game. And it worked. The game had some pretty fun mechanics. A tier. Bad Platformer. Bad Platformer is the worst game ever, and was made to be the worst game ever. Since it did that pretty well, B tier. Bad Horror Game. Bad Horror Game is similar to Bad Platformer, where I tried to make the worst game ever. Difference is that this was a horror game, and it was actually really bad, which is good for what this game was supposed to be. B tier. Realistic Among Us. This is basically a remake of Among Us, but I tried to make the game as realistic as possible. For example, as the imposter, you have to strategically take out the crewmates by setting traps. C tier. The upgraded version of You Probably Won't Survive. The upgraded version of You Probably Won't Survive is a game I'm working on, which is basically a heavily upgraded version of the original You Probably Won't Survive. This is going in the S tier. Alright guys, so since this game is an S tier game, that means we're going to do a little bit of a gameplay. So let's go ahead and jump into a new game here. We're going to go with impossible difficulty, just to see what happens. So let's start by chopping down some trees, collecting some wood, and building a base. Alright, so we've built our base and we're on to the next wave now, so yeah, let's see how this goes. Alright, we're trying again, but this time we're going normal difficulty. 48 Steps. 48 Steps is a puzzle platformer game in which you have 48 moves to work your way through each level. A tier. Drop Dudes. Drop Dudes is a Fall Guys remake that was made in 24 hours. B tier. Minecraft 2D. This is a 2D remake of Minecraft, but it's actually more like Minecraft as a platform game. C tier. The mobile version of Combat.io. The mobile version of Combat.io is an upgraded version of the original Combat.io. S tier. Alright guys, and here we are with the next S tier game, Combat.io Mobile Edition. Mr. Beast horror game. In this game, you play as a contestant in a Mr. Beast video. The goal is to try to survive 10 minutes in this forest. However, a possessed Mr. Beast is trying to take you out. B tier. 10-minute horror game. I made a horror game in 10 minutes. C tier. AI horror game remade. I basically asked ChatGPT to make a horror game, and this is what ChatGPT created. I then tried remaking this AI created horror game, but as a top-down game. C tier. AI platform game. I basically asked ChatGPT how to make a platform game and followed the steps I was given. I then asked ChatGPT for features to add to the platform game and added whatever AI suggested I add to the game. This is what we got. C tier. And there we go. That is pretty much every game we've made ranked. Thanks again to .fun Domains for sponsoring this video. Once again, you can get a .fun domain for only 99 cents for the first year by using my code BADGAMEDEV. To use this code and purchase your domain, head on over to get.fun or check out my link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, feel free to leave a comment, and you can also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Peace.